I'm Msgr Bill Parrott, and welcome to the first Friday of Advent 2020. This is the first of three brief video reflections on Fridays this Advent around the theme, Come Home for Christmas. By home, I mean the place where your parish family worships. Today, let's specifically consider coming home for Christmas safely. First, let's consider how many people can safely attend Mass together here at St. E's. Our pre-COVID capacity for both our church and commons together is about 800 people. With social distancing, we calculate our capacity today at roughly 200 people, which is only about 25% of our capacity. We have stuck with this maximum, 200 people, since reopening began, even when the county briefly allowed us to have higher numbers. That's why nothing changed when the restrictions got tighter a couple of weeks ago. And we're going to stick with this maximum of 200 people for all of our Christmas Masses. Most Masses since reopening have been only attended by roughly 100 people. And our single highest attendance for any Mass since we reopened is 168. The bottom line is that there's plenty of space for you to come home for Christmas safely. Please keep in mind that we will be checking tickets for all Christmas Masses, so be sure to sign up for your tickets soon. I've already done several videos on the protocols we're following every Sunday here at St. E's to keep everyone as safe as possible. If you haven't seen them already, links to those videos are posted below. Despite all that we're doing and all that most houses of worship are doing to stop the spread of COVID, a widespread misperception of worship persists, specifically that worship is inherently dangerous because we're indoors for prolonged periods, singing and praying and spraying virus everywhere. This misperception appeared prominently in a Supreme Court decision just last week in the dissent written by Justice Sotomayor and joined by Justice Kagan. Last week, the Supreme Court voted 5-4 to bar New York State from imposing certain limits on religious gatherings. In her dissent, Justice Sotomayor wrote, and I quote, "Bike repair shops and liquor stores generally do not feature customers gathering inside to sing and speak together for an hour or more at a time." In her view, this distinction between bike shops and liquor stores on one hand and houses of worship on the other hand justifies additional COVID restrictions on houses of worship. This is a fairly common argument that seems reasonable enough on the surface, but this distinction has misperceptions on both sides. Take bike shops, for example. Sure, there are times when you just drop off your bike and don't interact closely with anyone. But there are also times at bike shops when you try on or are measured for equipment like helmets, or when someone adjusts your bike with you sitting on it, or when you're packed into a very small space with other people because bike shops tend to be very small. Of course, bike shops have adapted to COVID, and so have we. We're not singing communally. We have shortened our time in worship to well under an hour, even on Sunday. We're masking and socially distancing not only during worship, but also when we enter and leave the church building. We've been doing this for over 5 months now without any cases of COVID traced to our worship. So please be smart about coming home for Christmas. If you're vulnerable and choose not to come home to worship in person, please know that the rest of us understand and will miss you and will pray for you. But if you're on the fence, especially if you've had the impression that public worship is inherently dangerous, please come home for Christmas safely. Just remember your ticket. Next Friday, we will reflect on coming home for Christmas repentantly. Until then, may God bless you and keep you safe. Happy Advent.